A number of years ago, I did an experiment to see if I could run a marathon without doing any running during my training block. As crazy as that sounds, it was a very interesting experiment that any beginner could probably end up running a half marathon without doing all of the hard training. If you want to complete it without worrying about any time goal, then yeah, this is a way that you can do it. So let me tell you the story, and I'll share the stats, I'll share the numbers, and I'll share what my time was and how I think it can help others strive to reach their goals while doing your best to stay injury-free and training at a low heart rate to keep it in that zone 2. And then for those of you who have been following my channel for years, you may remember this. For others who are new in the last couple of years, you may not know about this. So let's explore how to run a half marathon without doing any running during your training period. At the beginning of 2022, I ended up getting a puppy. My wife thought it would be a good idea to get a puppy. I didn't really have much of a say in the matter because I wanted her to be happy. And so I agreed. And I ended up becoming the dude who looked after Pippin. He was my dog.
I had my whole training plan figured out. All my fast tempos, hill repeats, everything. I was gonna run through the winter, through the slush, the snow, the cold. I was gonna make this thing happen. Hill repeats hurt. Running in the snow and ice and wind sucked. And then I had to start hiking because I got a puppy and I ran out of time. My whole entire training plan changed in an instant. And all I did for 2.5 months was hike up hills.
The amount of time that you need to train for these types of events, we all know what goes into it. It's tough. It's hard. Trying to figure out your hydration, your nutrition. These things are not always easy, specifically if you're a beginner. But sometimes, even if you're well-versed in trail running or ultra running or road running, whatever it is, you still have things that you have to navigate because the weather is different from day to day, and so is, well, that makes me feel better. You know, what you eat, how your stomach is on that day. Like there's, you know, jitters. There's all these things that you have to think about. And these are the things that were going through my mind when I was getting my dog, or when we got my dog. Because I only had enough time to take him for a walk. Let's see how much hiking I can do. And if I feel like I could do it, I'll run a half marathon in the springtime. And that's what I did. So I proceeded to put in a lot of kilometers. I may have actually walked my dog maybe a little, well, I don't know if it was a little too much, but I did walk him every day and he got a lot of exercise, and it was flipping cool because some of these trails that I would go, I couldn't really run up any hills at this point anyways. So I thought, okay, let's just take it upon myself. We'll hike up the hills. Well, let's just hike the majority. Like, let's just hike it all. You know, I was able to go 45 minutes and then I worked my way up to about like an hour and a half. Some hikes were like 2 hours. And one may have even been longer than that. But the message I want you to get at was I was hiking. Essentially, I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I did my best to keep my heart rate in zone 2. Whether you want to call that Maffetone territory, or whether you want to call it zone 2 training territory, it was heart rate training in all of its glory, but with no running. As the time got closer and closer to the half marathon, I kind of started to get really nervous because I really started to think, oh, what have I done? I may have really screwed up this. type of training. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Because with all this elevation gain, up and down, you're actually getting a strength workout at the same time as building an aerobic base. So when the day comes that you can run that half marathon, you're going to be stronger in your heart and you're going to be stronger in the legs. There's no doubt. Again, I'm not saying that not running is better than running. I'm just saying that it can be done. It can be achieved. And you are stronger than you think you are. You just talk to yourself and put yourself down when the going gets hard. And a lot of people just give up. But if I gave up on all the things that I do, I'd never make it anywhere. So it's all just about digging deep, finding what motivates you, pulling out all the stops, and taking massive action on the things that you want to do and achieve. And because I was kind of coming back off of an injury through 2021, I was like, I don't know how the heck I'm going to do this. But on race day, here we are. I was able to achieve all of these results leading up to my race day. So was it going to be enough to get me through? Was it going to be enough to pull it all together? I didn't know. I just knew that these were all of my times. This is how much elevation I got. This is how much, you know, I was able to do distance-wise. This is just, you know, where things were at. Well, so it begins, everybody. The Toronto Half Marathon. Considering I haven't run for like a very long time and I've only been hiking, I don't know how this is all gonna go. It's either all gonna come crashing down and be a sufferfest, or it's gonna turn out not bad. Only time will tell. So on race day, when I set my mind to it and off I went, I didn't know what was gonna happen. Now, as the half marathon proceeded and I slowly worked my way in mile by mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, as I worked my way through it, I hit this one big hill and it was a climb. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put on my hiking mindset and I'm gonna hike up this crazy big hill that most people were trying their best to run. And I just hiked and I hiked and I just kept pushing my way up. I just kept doing it. When I finally got up to the top, I had a little bit of a break, not like crazy break. I mean, just kind of slowed down a little bit of walking. And then I started to run. And as I started to run, I started to pass a lot of people. And I realized that my hiking was now helping me pass all of these other people who were running, because they ran up this big hill and then they ran after the hill, but they were just falling apart. And there I was passing them now, and I was like, okay, this is gonna go pretty well, I think. Yeah, 5K in. Things are going okay. It's like 5:44 or something. Oh, it feels so good to get on the course again. But as it continued and as I got deeper into it, we hit a couple of areas where there was a little bit of another downhill, a little bit of an uphill, and there was more walking breaks. I had to take more walking breaks. I don't know how many I took, but maybe on the screen I'll put it right here. But this is what was happening as I was trudging my way through this whole thing. Doing okay, bud. I gotta go to the washroom. This is not good. But then I looked at my time and I'm like, oh, what is it gonna look like? Is it any good? Was I able to achieve a goal of 2 hours that I had in my head because I was chasing the 2-hour bunny down little bunny ears, right? But I started to falter. I fell off. 2:05. Pace bunny in front of me. Holy crap. I got this. But I think when I finally got to about kilometer, I don't know, maybe 19, I really started to think, okay, I need to ratchet up. Let's see if I can really go fast. And as I worked my way up around the CNE grandstand, holy crap, let's see if I can knock off a couple of good kilometers. Get out and run. For me, of just walking and hiking during my training, I was able to run that marathon with walk breaks, and I completed it. And I'll tell you, I was damn happy when it was done. I was so proud of what I was able to achieve just in doing that alone. So I think anybody, if they wanted to run a half marathon without running during your training, you could certainly complete it on race day if you have it up here, right? You got a positive mindset, you can achieve it.
I think at the end of the day, there's multiple ways to get to the end result. Whether you're hiking, walking, running, going up hills, running on the flats, it really makes no difference. Because if you just want to complete the half marathon and that's it, and you don't need to worry about your times, then all of these methods will get you there one way or the other.
Where am I going? So lost again.
How many walk breaks you take, how fast you run, whether you're running up the hill or hiking up the hill, you have to do what works for you. And we're all different. Hiking your way to running a marathon or a half marathon is possible. I've proven it. And even if you're starting from scratch, you gotta start with building your aerobic base. That's just the reality of it. Walk-run method works well. That's when you can run for a minute, walk for a minute, and repeat this over and over and over for half an hour. Then you can work up to 45 minutes. But at some point, you will start to run for longer. So whether you're walking for a minute, running for 2, walking for a minute, running for 3, walking for a minute, running for 4. You can slowly, gradually work your way up over the weeks and months as you progress. And eventually you'll reach a point where you just throw in the towel and you're like, okay, I can run now. And then you just slowly keep building from there. It's possible, it's doable, and I encourage you, you can all do it. And at the end of the day, we're doing this for fun, right?
It's a Pine River down there. I made it all the way up to, oh, how would you like to live up there? This is a new loop. I gotta watch out for rocks and roots, man. All the leaves came down and it's been raining. So things are gonna be a little slippery. I just gotta be careful. And I gotta keep on talking and making noise because it is that time of the year where you know what is in the woods looking for food. And I don't want to be a snack, if you know what I mean. And like I always say, get out and run. See you on the next one.